the head coach of the Chicago Bears, joining us right now. He joins us on the CarX Tire and Auto Hotline. Coach Eberflus joining Waddle and Silvy right now. Coach, how you feeling today?
Doing all right, fellas. Thank you.
Why don't you give us the update? We heard your press conference on Justin Fields.
Yeah, so really, just the same, as much as the same right there, just dislocated his thumb. We got the x-ray yesterday after the game. That was negative. Then the MRI was today, and we don't have a timetable right now. And really, it's going to come down to grip strength to see what he can do at the end of the week. There's obviously natural swelling that occurs during that, and we're going to have to wait and see to the end of the week to see where he is.
Did you have did you find ligament damage in the MRI?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at everything. It really comes down to grip strength, So the MRI, I'm not going to talk about detail of the exact MRI, what's going on there, but it looks, to be. We have to wait and see at the end of the week, and we'll see where it is then, and we'll make our steps from there. Right now I said during the press conference also that it's, is it doubtful that he's going to play this week? Probably, but we'll see where it is at the end of the week. We have to give it time to see exactly where this thing is by the end of the week. It's going to come down to his grip strength.
Coach, would it be fair to say that Tyson Bagent will get all of the starters reps? And on top of that, how did you believe he played on yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously if he's going to be the guy, he's going to get every single rep. And, certainly I thought, when he's played during the game, I thought, a little bit of a rough start there, to start the game. But I think he really settled in, once he got in there. And he showed some great poise, showed great demeanor, had good command of the huddle. I thought he made some really nice passes in there. And again, he has, his escapability was good. He showed his athleticism there. So I thought overall, taking our team down there and scoring, obviously we had some good runs, had some good, had a good third down conversion there. So overall, I thought he really showed some good promise.
Based on the fact that you want to see how Justin is at the end of the week, is it safe to say that Justin's going to avoid an IR stay?
Yeah, we don't have all that information yet. We really don't. So we really truly have to evaluate this thing at the end of the week, and then we'll see where it is from there.
Coach, let's get into some of what we saw yesterday. DJ Moore was not a factor in the first half. Was that because his number wasn't called, or was it more Justin missing opportunities to get him the ball?
No, I would not say his number wasn't called. They did some things where they were over top of him a bunch of times. But, certainly, when you have a player like him, we want to be able to target him. And we end up getting him targets at the end of it. But certainly in the beginning of that game, we want to do a better job of, targeting him.
As far as the snaps are concerned, this would seem to be something basic. You've got to get the snaps to the quarterback in a way where he doesn't have to worry where they're coming. What is going on with the snaps?
Yeah, so really it's just, a function of, fundamentals, really, if it's Cody or if it's Lucas right there, the ability to, when you have a guy over top of you, to be able to snap the ball accurately, and making sure it get back there in a timely manner. So the pace of it matters, the location of it matters, and we just got to be more consistent with that for sure.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, is there any chance that Dan Feeney or Doug Kramer get an opportunity to play that position?
Yeah, we'll look at all of the depth of that this week. Obviously with Nate Davis, being out with a high ankle sprain, we're obviously going to look at different combinations, and we'll decide that as we go through today and tomorrow before we get to Wednesday's practice for sure. But, Feeney, we like where he is. Doug's been working his tail off, so we'll see where it is, and we'll make the best possible, adjustment that we can do based on the guys we have available to us.
Coach Eberflus joining us. It's Waddle and Silvy on ESPN 1000. I appreciate, Coach, that you're a player's coach. We've always heard that about you. We have talked on this show, me specifically, about accountability. A lot of fans have mentioned that they would also prefer you to stand up after a game and just say, look, Cody wasn't good. And Cody was replaced because his snapping was terrible. Why not just stand up and say that was unacceptable?
Yeah, I would say that, Cody, during the course of the game, it was operating, Lucas was in concussion protocol, during the course of the week. So he wasn't in a lot of meetings, because, he's not allowed to be. So that was a little bit of a situation for us, going into the week. And again, once Tyson got in there, we decided it was best for the football team, to put him in there to kind of settle him down. Because at that point in the third quarter, we did have a few bad snaps in there. We decided to put Lucas in there. And again, that wasn't the total reason for it, but we thought it would do a good job of settling Tyson down. And it did. And they did a good job with us scoring a touchdown there.
As much work as you put in, Coach, isn't it frustrating to you that you can't get a snap accurately back to the quarterback?
Yeah, like I said, it all comes down to fundamentals. The pace and the accuracy, it has to be better, and we're certainly going to work on that.
Coach, how about the protection that we saw? You knew that the Vikings were obviously going to bring a pressure package. It looked as if 2 of the 3 turnovers were a result of the quarterback being pressured. Was that a product of player error, or was there some unsound protection plan going in?
Yeah, I would just say that with those, the 2 takeaways there that they had, which are obviously huge in the game, we just got to do a better job as a group. The protection was sound. We got to do a good job of calling it right, at the line of scrimmage and making sure we got our bigs on our bigs, and then our running back on the guys on the perimeter, which is their secondary players. So again, it's all of us together. We got to do a better job of it for sure.
Is that a result of maybe having backs that haven't gotten many snaps being put into game situations?
It's really all encompassing. It's about the line setting the protection, and then the guys operating and doing a good job on those particular 2 plays. That's what it is.
Who sets your protection, Coach?
The center does. The center sets it, and the quarterback can also override that too. He can set it too and rip liz it and change the protection as well. But it's those 2 guys that are in charge of the protection.
Look, we're just a couple of boobs on the radio, so when we watch the All 22, like we're big-time head coaches. When we see then one of your offensive linemen block the blitzer, and then the big is being blocked by the running back, as you just mentioned, that's a mistake, and that's not the way you guys draw it up.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. You want your bigs to block the bigs, and then your backs to block the perimeter, no question.
How do you...
And that's the way it's always, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be that way. With any protection that you're drawing up for sure.
How do you protect from those mistakes happening again?
Well, it's just repetition, right? Being consistent, repetition, and making sure we're all on the same page. And it comes down to all 11 of us making sure we're doing the job right, so we can protect in a solid fashion and get the ball down the field. And that's also, you got to be able to react if something breaks down at the quarterback level. You got to be able to react, and get the ball underneath. Or get the ball, just an incomplete pass is okay in those situations if something breaks down.
We talked about Justin's injury, but rewinding back to watching him play, he really didn't build on the good things he did in the previous 2 games. Is there a good explanation for that, Coach?
Yeah, it's really, for us is, about being consistent, and about understanding that we have to do a better job, during the game, of adjusting and making sure we're squared away with that pressure package that they gave us. And again, we have to do a better job of that. And again, it's an overall team effort. Defensively, I thought we played very well. At times, we were much better on third down. We had a really good job of making them kick field goals. And we did a decent job of taking the ball away. They didn't give us the one.
Yeah.
I thought we played with great energy. I thought we tackled well. There's a lot of good play by the secondary. So I thought it was good to have those guys back. But again, it's a whole team effort, and we got to do a better job as a football team playing complementary football. We do get those turnovers in the plus area, or get them backed up and get that ball punt and pinned right there. We got to do a better job of turning that into points. They had 13 points off of their turnovers. We had 0 off of ours, and that's really where the game was.
When you get screwed like you got screwed, and I don't know if you could say it, but I can, on that takeaway, because you got screwed, that's inconclusive, and they're not supposed to flip that. Do you guys send that to the league office and ask for an answer?
Yeah, we always, there's always a handful of plays every week we send to the league for sure, and we get our answers back, and certainly that'll be one of them. But when they overturned it and said it was, clear and obvious, again, it didn't look to be clear and obvious to us, but that's where they called it, and that's what it is. And we had to adjust from there. But again, that was a big play in the game for sure.
A lot of people were looking for a big name with the analyst position, like some names like Lovey were coming up, Leslie Frazier, other names that you're familiar with. You picked Phil Snow, who is the defensive coordinator of Carolina. We seem to have a good relationship with Carolina these days. Who is Phil Snow, and why'd you settle on him?
Yeah, Phil Snow is a friend that I've known for through Rod Marinelli. He worked for Rod way back in the NFL a long time ago, and so that's where I got to know him a little bit. But again, I've always liked his defenses. They've always played at a high level, and certainly believes in the same things we believe in. But also his expertise, in terms of being in college, I think it certainly brings that another look of how to do things. And certainly had some really good defenses also in college there. So, but he's going to be an analyst for us. So he's going to be a guy that does advanced scouting ahead of time for us in the upcoming opponent. And he's going to give us reports and summaries based on, certain situations, first and second down, third down, red zone, 2 minute, and his thoughts of how to attack them, front coverage and pressure. And I think it's going to be a good way for us to get ahead of the week here coming forward. And I'm about to meet with him here in about 20 minutes. And certainly that's going to be, he's going to meet with all the coaches, and that'll give us a head start on the Raiders.
Coach, do you feel like you're finding your rhythm as a defensive play caller? And what leads you to be confident that you guys can replicate what you guys did yesterday on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I'll just, we get our guys back. We got a lot of guys back, which allowed us to do different things in coverage. I think that was probably a big part of it. The continuity piece is starting to come together. We're getting our rhythm, in terms of being a defensive staff and, how we're operating, during the course of the week. So I think all those things are playing into it. And, again, this is a week-to-week league, and we got to do a good job this week.
Coach, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time, just doubling back to Justin on the grip strength issue that you're going to test at the end of the week. Is that a pain tolerance thing, or is that more of a hand functionality thing?
I would just say it's really both. It's really both. It is a pain tolerance thing, then it really is, can he function? And he's able to do the things that a quarterback does, and obviously that's his right hand, and that's a big part of it. And it's both.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you. Have a good week of practice, all right?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Yep.
There you go.